It was 4 a.m. on a freezing February morning in East London. The streets of Shoreditch were completely dark, quiet, and covered in a light mist. Two sanitation workers were doing their usual rounds when they noticed something unusual sitting right next to a commercial dumpster. It was a slate-gray, hard-shell suitcase. What caught their attention wasn't just that it was left there, but that it was brand new, not a single scratch on it. Curiosity got the better of them, so one of the workers stepped forward and unzipped it. He expected to find abandoned clothes, or maybe stolen retail stock. Instead, he stumbled directly into a living nightmare. Inside the tight space of the suitcase was the body of a young woman, packed tightly in a fetal position. The pathology report would later reveal a horrific detail: her limbs and spine had been violently fractured just to make her fit inside the box. The cause of death was asphyxiation. She had been suffocated after a desperate struggle. There was no ID, no wallet, and no phone. Just the clothes on her back and an expensive designer coat that didn't seem to match the grim, cold alleyway. Scotland Yard immediately began reviewing local CCTV footage, and they caught a massive break. At exactly 3:15 a.m., a classic black cab pulled up near the alley. A young man stepped out, dragged the heavy suitcase over to the dumpster, paid the driver, and calmly walked away into the fog. When detectives tracked down that cab driver, his testimony blew the case wide open. He told police that he had actually helped the man lift the suitcase into the trunk. It was heavy, and it smelled awful, like rotting meat. The passenger claimed he was a chef, and that his restaurant's freezer had broken down while he was away on vacation. He said he was taking the spoiled steaks to a fox sanctuary. But midway through the ride, the man saw a police checkpoint ahead. He panicked, started sweating, and begged the driver to turn around, claiming he had illegal substances in his pocket. He demanded to be let out right there in Shoreditch instead. Using the cab driver's pickup location, police raided a flat in Camden. There, they arrested a 26-year-old kitchen porter named Marcus Vance. But the most shocking discovery was found in his trash bin: a women's handbag containing an ID card belonging to 32-year-old Chloe Bennett. To the detectives, she was just another name. But to millions of people on the internet, Chloe Bennett was a household name. You see, Chloe's life had been a tragic chain of events. She suffered from severe obsessive-compulsive disorder and paranoid delusions. Her mother was her only protector, but when she passed away, Chloe's father turned abusive and eventually kicked her out onto the streets. In 2023, a passerby filmed a video of Chloe living under a bridge near King's Cross Station. The video went viral, capturing the hearts of millions. It caught the attention of Clara Reynolds, the founder of the Anchor House, a famous charity for vulnerable women. Clara took Chloe in, got her psychiatric help, and stabilized her life. Chloe became the beloved face of the charity's social media. Audiences fell in love with her gentle spirit and her quirky livestream appearances. She even caught the eye of a wealthy philanthropist who frequently visited her and gave her gifts, including a brand new smartphone and financial aid to secure her future. But then, reality struck. In late 2025, the Anchor House was abruptly shut down due to regulatory disputes. Without her routine and her safe haven, Chloe's mental state shattered. By law, authorities had to return her to her next of kin, her estranged father. It was a recipe for disaster. Within weeks, the abuse started again, and Chloe fled. This time, she took a train all the way to Edinburgh, trying to vanish completely. On a bitter winter night, a disoriented Chloe walked into a late-night diner just to get warm. Working the kitchen that night was Marcus Vance. Marcus was charming, but he was also deeply in debt. He immediately realized she was vulnerable, and he saw an easy target. He told her that finding an apartment at that hour was impossible, but offered her his couch for the night, promising to help her look for a place in the morning. Chloe, desperate and cold, trusted him. Inside the apartment, Marcus' kindness completely vanished. He noticed Chloe's expensive, unopened phone and a thick envelope of cash given to her by her wealthy benefactor. While she slept, Marcus stole everything and hid it in his car. But when he came back upstairs, Chloe was awake. She realized she had been robbed. She began screaming, threatening to call the police and alert the neighbors. Terrified of being exposed, Marcus snapped. He threw her to the ground, pinned her down, and pressed a pillow over her face, ignoring her frantic struggles until the room went completely silent. Realizing what he had done, he panicked. He went out and bought a large suitcase. When her body wouldn't fit, he brutally broke her limbs and spine, forcing her inside before calling the cab that would eventually lead to his downfall. Faced with overwhelming CCTV evidence, the cab driver's identification, and Chloe's stolen belongings in his flat, Marcus Vance confessed to everything. Because the murder was tied to robbery, he was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Chloe Bennett's life was a heartbreaking search for safety. Left unprotected by her family and let down by the system, she fell into the hands of a monster. But the online community she left behind ensures that her story, her smile, and her memory will never be forgotten.